Hello, hello. Yeah, hello, it's me, it's Irina. So right now in here, it's 35 degrees Celsius, which is like 95, I think, 95 probably, degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's really hot. We are going through that heat wave in Europe right now. And I'm totally fine with this because I am so cozy with the summer. Yeah. I am absolutely the worst with the cold weather, but this type of weather for me is like it's so cool. And most people are like, I need a fan or I need something. I'm like, I'm so cool with this. Yeah. Well, I'm not outside, of course, or I would be, really sweaty and probably burning. Yeah, so like usually during these days, people just go to the beach in here. But I just want to stay inside and cool a bit, of course. But I like to go outside too, like winter for me is just it's so hard to pass by, but I deal so well with the hot days. It's just I feel so cozy. I don't know how to explain this to people. They usually think that I'm crazy, but the thing is, when it's like really cold and snowing outside, and I feel like I cannot even breathe, I'm like, where's my sunshine? Honestly. So we have another game in here, which is Merry Crisis. Yes, and this is. Oh, I don't know. Let me see. This is from Monsoon Games. I think it's like that. Yeah, it's not out yet, so it's to be announced. And we have the information that after a breakup turns your world inside out, you return home for Christmas. We're talking about Christmas when I'm telling you that it's like really hot in here and it's summer and all of it. Well, it just happened. I'm sorry. Maybe I should have left this one for a better season, but sorry. After a breakup turns your world inside out, you return home for Christmas, hoping to change in scenery. Will give you space to mend a broken heart. Instead, a charged encounter with your estranged. I think you say more like estranged, right? First love. An unexpected visit from your recent ex and an undeniable connection with the musician next door leaves you more confused than ever. As the clock counts down to midnight on New Year's Eve, you'll need to choose. Piece your life back together in America, or return to the life you left behind in Singapore. Singapore! I would just go to Singapore. What is this? So it says that we have like 1 hour and a half of gameplay for the demo. And we have gender selection in here. And let me tell you, so this is going to take out probably like the chapter 1. Let's see if it says something else. Yes, okay. So, another thing that, it changes, yeah. Another thing that I want to tell you is, let's start. So, player setup, your character is, I'm a woman. For flashback scenes, your character was born. I was born female. There are 3 romanceable characters in the game, all of them gender selectable. Okay, this is what I was going to tell you about. Like, if you want to romance this man, you pick this one. If you just want to romance women, you pick this one. And like, if you feel like you are bisexual, I would tell you to go the random selection. I actually took a peek at the game, and the random selection really gives you whatever, okay? And I'm saying this because what I noticed that I actually didn't knew about this, which is like you have like the same character. It's like the exact same character. It's just that that character is going to be or female or male, okay? It's like that, and that was the thing that I didn't knew about it. I thought you had like imagine I thought you had like 6 women and then 6 women, sorry. 3 women and then 3 men. Do you understand? I thought it was like that, but it's not. It's like they are the same. It's just that or they are a woman or they are a man, okay? It's like that. I don't think we have like transgender in here. I don't remember them talking about that. But I don't know. I'm not actually certain right now. No, I don't think so. I think you only have like these 2 genders. They say 3 gender, but I'm talking like about them, and I don't think you can. I don't know. Maybe if you pick for each other, you can choose like a transgender. I am not certain right now. Yeah, I'm not certain. For them, I mean for them. Okay, I'm not talking about yourself. I'm talking about them. I think you always treat them as a he or a she when you kind of like choose this. That's why I'm like, unless you can like do it with this one, but I don't wanna, you know, I call them as they. But I don't want to tell you that and then it doesn't happen, because I think it was always, even with the random selection, yeah, I think it was always like he, she. It was always like that, yeah. So, since I'm doing, I'm always telling you this, because these games, they have like this range, but as I told you, like I decided to start with the ones that were categorized as otome games. The thing is that they are otome games, but they also allow to have included the LGBT community. So what I wanted to say is that I am going to pick men to romance with, but you can totally pick whichever one you want to decide with, okay? And as I said, if you're going to pick this one, it's the exact same 3 characters, but they are going to be or male or female depending on what you're going to choose. So this game may explore themes of racial prejudice, homophobia, family conflict, and transphobia, depending on the playable character's identity and choices. And then you can choose to display. The only thing that it's going to show you is just a little indication in here that, okay, we are going to reach a topic in here that is going to be, I don't know, prejudiced, racist, whatever, okay? It's going to be like that. We can display, okay? We can display. Since I'm doing this for an audience, maybe it's better if I just leave it like that. Another thing that I want to tell you is that while I was like taking a peek at it, I noticed that the auto is actually not functioning in this game. They have like a back, they have like a skip, and I don't know, maybe it was me. Wait, maybe it was me. Could it had been me? No, I don't see it in here. Yeah, I don't think so. Journal characters. Yeah, no, see, like you see like no button for the auto. And at the beginning he said something about the space bar, and I was like, oh, maybe it's the space bar. I don't know, maybe I could try, like, I don't want to just be clicking in here. reloading screen. God, yeah. Okay, I was expecting this to happen. Oh my God. It is fine. I'm going to put it again. Do not worry. You're going to see a black screen, but it's fine. Okay, it's totally fine. That's why I didn't want it to just mess with it. Yeah, so if it has an auto keybind, I do not know which one is it. Okay, I do not know. So is he reaching it? Yeah, he is. See, like, press spacebar or click to continue. See, like, and I was like, okay, then could it be the spacebar? No, it's just it's a clicking one. Okay, even clicking with the spacebar, it needs to be like a click. It doesn't go into an auto kind of thing. So now you know. Yeah, okay, so we're going to do this again. Do not mind me. It's cool that I did this right at the beginning. And I was trying to see if any key, but yeah, we got the rampage error kind of thing. Okay, the arrival. So 22nd December. You sprint down the street. There had been an early sprinkling of snow 2 days ago, and the streets are still slippery with patches of black ice. It's absolute madness to be running full tilt the way you are, but nobody bats an eye. You've lived here long enough to know that New York City is full of people who are late to something or another. In your case, your flight to Singapore is in less than 4 hours, and you still need to grab your stuff from the apartment. Run like my life's on the line, slow down enough to avoid falling flat on my face. I wanna run, but I know what is the feeling of falling in a situation like this, and I do not want to pass by that once again in my life. No. Although this is like a virtual thing, okay? But I know how it hurts, yeah? No? Actually, I even know a person that had to go into surgery because of a situation like this. So, yeah, we really need to be careful. You figure that if you end up as roadkill, you definitely won't make it for Christmas dinner. Your mother's already mad enough that you're visiting for only a week, so you don't want to know what she'll react if you don't come home at all. Let me just check. Yes. You are a yard from your apartment building when two very familiar hairy things burst out on the front door and charge towards you. Oh yeah, it's the dogs. They leap straight at you, yapping noisily, knocking you off balance. You take a step back, right into a patch of ice. You flail frantically in the blind hope of catching a nearby railing. Fortunately, someone catches your arm before you face plant into the sidewalk. It's Nat, your housemate. I'm so sorry, Kaiho? Kaiho. Yeah, maybe Kaiho. Kaiho and Liz dashed out before I could clip their leashes on. Liz wags her tail and beams at you, while Kaiho gives you a smug smile, completely unrepentant despite their role in your near-death experience. Okay, like, I have like an issue, which is like the last line gets in the way of my microphone, and so sometimes you will see me staggering in here a lot of times because I have the freaking microphone in front, but I cannot actually move it too much because I don't have space. Okay, let's see how we deal with this. Okay. Oh, I'm never too busy to give the dogs a good bat. Give Nat a quick nod and wave before continuing. Okay. You technically have no time to spare, but you've never been able to resist these two. You tossed toy bone for Liz, then give Kaiho a pat. Liz scampers off happily in search of the bone, and Kaiho gives you an imperious bark of satisfaction. Nat watches you, gaze lingering, expression hovering somewhere between fond and sad, and something you still don't have a name for. Even now, his voice carries a warmth you've spent the past few weeks trying to forget. So, 4 weeks ago, the breakup had been amicably major. So yeah, I played just a bit of this, and this was actually kind of getting into me when I was playing. Although when I played, I was playing with a she, with the version of Nat as a she, but it was totally fine, and I felt it in a very deep way. And why am I saying this? Okay, why am I saying this? Because I faced kind of the same situation, not exactly the same, but kind of the same situation. And I was like doing this. And I was like, oh my God, this is like kind of like getting into me. The situation of it's not your country and you were there with someone, living with that person, and your relationship is not actually going in the right direction. You are having problems in terms of relationship, and you kind of feel like you're going home just to pass exactly the same situation, because I went home just to pass not some holidays, but to just pass like 2 weeks with my family, and then I couldn't come back because the situation arrived. And in terms of relationship, I mean, and even the way they were like talking about the relationship in itself, I was kind of like, I know how this situation is and I passed by this, so at the same time it was like, I know how I would actually react to a situation like this, because I passed by it. So the thing is, like, Nat is one of our love interests in here. And supposedly, we already have a history together. And I don't know, in terms of like the gameplay, not about my life, but in terms of the gameplay, I don't actually know how I really feel about it. Because I think Nat is very pretty. I like him. And he's very accessible and gentle. But the thing is, how I see myself in this situation and position, because I passed by a situation like this, and I end up not being able to actually get into this character, okay? Because there is a background, there is something going on in here, and there's also a shadow in me of things that I passed through. So we had a breakup that was amicable, mature. You both simply been moving in opposite directions, or so Nat had put it anyway. So Nat is probably the person that is feeling it the most. You stand in the kitchen of your shared apartment, reeling from all that had been said and left unsaid. This is a flashback, okay? The radiator hisses unevenly in the corner, working overtime to fill the silence. A half-drunk mug of tea sits between you, long since gone cold. You sense that Nat hadn't been happy for a while now, but you hadn't realized that it had gotten this bad. Breakup bad. Are you even happy with me? So I'm not unhappy, just too busy and distracted. Deep down, I know I haven't been happy. So this is where you can just like turn the tables and probably get back with the situation. And this was when I started kind of like reminding of my situation, and I understood one thing, which is like, when you feel like, I don't remember the phrase that he said before, which is like he was the one kind of like complaining first that something was wrong, okay? And that's when I felt it the most, which is what the reason why I was like, okay. So let's say you say like, I'm not unhappy, just busy and distracted, and truth is, you've been so busy with your own career that you stopped paying attention to what was happening between you and Nat. It wasn't my situation, okay? It's just it's doing the gameplay. Our situation was different. Perhaps in some ways you willfully refused to see the warning signs because you thought your relationship with Nat was too good to fail. The last 4 years with Nat had been some of the best years of your life. Stupidly, naively, you had generally expected those good times to last forever. Nat reaches over and takes your hand in his, smooth and warm and big-knuckled. It's a gesture that's so familiar it makes your heart ache. I love you, but we can't keep going on like this. See, like he's complaining again. Even when I said I'm sorry, I was just like distracted. He's complaining again. And this was when I realized, okay, this is really like the situation that I actually had, which is like when you start seeing, I don't know, each person acts in a different way. But when you start seeing that you are not being able to make the other person happy, are you going to be egotistical or are you going to be altruistic about it? Okay, loving someone is something. Feeling that you are with that person, you may love her, love him, love her, love them, whatever. What I'm trying to say is, even if you love that person, if you are basically just hurting them, or is the relationship being like unhealthy by some point, I mean, are you going to continue in there? Are you going to continue forcing the situation? I cannot. And when it came to me, like when I passed by a situation similar, I was like, I cannot do that. You know, like the other person is not happy with the situation. Apparently, I'm not being able to make this person happy with what I'm giving and whatever is going on between us. Are you going to force the situation? He complained it already twice. Something sharp and desperate claws at your throat. Like we could do like, can't we work this out? And I cannot go through that one because I feel like I would be too much egotistical to continue trying when the person is just complaining and feeling that we are not okay with each other, or like this is like starting to be unhealthy for me or hurting me, whatever. So not silently, I know at that end when I see one. I say this because when you pass by a situation like this, maybe you should continue trying. The thing is, for me, myself, my person, I cannot anymore. Because I passed by a situation like this, and I know what is for you to reach a point where it's just like you tried again and the other person or you are already crying about it, and because it didn't happen once again. So I'm like, no. I'm like, no, I don't want to put myself in there. But that doesn't mean that, in fact, let me tell you, that doesn't mean that Nat isn't a really great love interest. The thing is, I have a background. The character and him already have a background together. And I'm like, I feel like I cannot go forward with this. Do you understand? Just because of that shadow that I have, like, hovering above me, you know, like it's just kind of like that. As much as you wish things had worked out between you, you've lived long enough to know that sometimes things just don't go the way you want them to, which is it's true. And it's even worse if you are just hurting the other person. You know, that's not good. You know that end when you see one. The two of you stare at each other from across the table. The silence stretches between you. A part of you wants to cling on, but was there anything left to save? A week passes. 3rd December. You are still living with Nat in the same tiny apartment. You've already packed your things into neatly labeled boxes and you've been scoring websites for apartments to rent. But New York City rent is sky high. As a late 20-something-year-old without much savings to your name, there just aren't many options. So, are we going to try our best to move on? Unlike my belongings, my feelings prove a lot harder to pack up and stow away, which is also a reality. But if we took the decision, and the decision was made because of we probably becoming something unhealthy to the other person, I would try my best to move on. You pack your feelings away and seal it up along with the rest of your belongings. 6 boxes to contain half of the life you'd once shared. And I know how it feels. I really know how this feels. And I left a lot of things behind. A lot of things. I thought to myself, you know, whatever. I'm not going to even... Like, when you take the decision, you take a decision. You remind yourself that this is for the best, that this is what Nat wanted. A car honks loudly. The sound of traffic transports you back to the cold street. Breathe? Huh? It's with the E, right? Breath fogging in the December air. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, like it's not coming now. It's beginning to snow properly now. Tiny snowflakes settle in Nat's hair on the shoulder of his jacket. So reflexively, I lean in to brush them off. This would give him some kind of hope. A step back, establishing distance. No, I took a decision in there. You step back, putting enough distance between you and Nat to hopefully prevent yourself from doing anything rash. I think the issue in here is that he started by being the one complaining twice to me, so that made me feel like I was the, I don't know, I was, how do you do it? I was the thorn. That's what I wanted to. That was the word that I was looking for. It's like I was the thorn in the relationship. So I really feel like I don't want to, if I'm being like the thing that is stinking in here, you know? It doesn't, however, stop the small pang in your heart from building to a dull ache. You can't help thinking of all the winter days you'll spend together, making angels in fresh snow and sipping hot chocolate by a window. You push the memories away. You are no longer 21, in love and full of hope for the future. The space between you seems to crackle, but the silence is a thick layer of hard-packed ice. It's Nat who broke the silence. When does your flight leave? 3.5 hours. With a change of expression worthy of an 80s sitcom, all the color blends out of Nat's face. Shit, need a lift. I could deal with one, you know, like since we only have that time. As you at your hesitation, Nat waves a hand. It's no problem. What's the point of a holiday if you can't even use it to save a... Nat falters a little at this, but soldiers on. A housemate in a time of crisis? The hesitation when Nat sad housemate makes your heart constrict. Yeah, I really shouldn't, since I'm trying to distance myself, I really shouldn't take this opportunity. But at the same time, I'm like, I think I'm going to probably take it. Shake my head stiffly. I can't keep relying on Nat like this. Yeah, that's what I probably should pick up. Give Nat a grateful hug. Thank you. How would I repay you? Do you want my firstborn child? I joke. One or the other. I don't know. I don't know if we should just like which one could be more, because this is a hug and this one is just choking, but there's like something implied. I don't know, maybe. Nat laughs lightly and you remember how much you love the sound. You catch an expression. Yeah, so this one was a little bit more. You catch an expression flicker across Nat's face that's all too familiar. You once joked about marriage and children, though those times are long over. Oh hell no, keep your future children. En route to JFK. Nat's one of the few New Yorkers you know who owns a set of wheels. You've spent countless weekends exploring the small towns along the Hudson River, hiking in the nearby Catskills, going on road trips. You've been driving through a blizzard to Quebec, singing terrible pop songs at the top of your lungs when you first realized how in love with Nat you were. At the next stop sign, Nat turns to glance at you. What will you say when your family asks you what you're still doing in New York? You'll expected to return to Singapore after college, but you started dating Nat in senior year, so you found a way to stay a little longer. 1 year led to the next, and before you knew it, you spent nearly 3 years in New York after graduating. I do miss Singapore. Sometimes I wonder what I'm still doing here. Even without Nat, New York's starting to feel like home. Yeah, I would actually say the second one. And I'm going to tell you why. Like, I spent 4 years in the US. And it started, after 4 years, it starts feeling like home, okay? And apparently, our character even passed more time because it was like the college years plus these other like 4 years too, right? That they were in a relationship together. I think those are the maths. I don't know. So even more. But to tell you, like, I only passed like 4 years and I already started because like when you pass like months or even like 1 year, you may already start feeling that. But when it's like 4, I mean, you already got used to a ton of things, like a lot of things, okay? So yes, I would say that. There's also another thing of like going back home, which I felt too, which is like going back to your parents, okay? And that's another situation that you have there because your parents love you, but parents tend to be very controlling. Not all of them, of course, but parents tend to be very controlling of their children's lives. And as an adult, you really need to deal with that. And sometimes it's very hard for you to deal with that, especially when you're like, I don't know, they were saying like she was in her 20s, right? Imagine that you are like, I don't know, 27, 25 or 27 or something, and you're going back to your parents' house after like years that you spent away, and they are going to like you already feel like an independent adult, and they are going to be there and asking you what you did and controlling you and what's going on and about the jobs and about what you're doing and about it's not easy. I know how it feels like. It's not easy. It's always good to visit family, but one thing is visiting, other thing is like, oh, I'm going back and just going to stay there, that's another thing. So I'm going to say, even without Nat, New York's starting to feel like home. You let out a long exhale and look out the window on your side of the car. Singapore is where you grew up, but it never quite felt like a life you'd chosen. Yeah, there's also like friends that live in there, and especially like neighbors that are going to nag about certain things. I don't know. In New York, with a million other transplants to the city, you feel a little lighter, free from expectations of what you should do, whom you should be. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Because parents have like these things, and then it's not just the parents, it's the neighborhood, it's the friends. Then they start telling you like, oh, why did you come back? I mean, your life could have been so much easier in there. What did you do wrong? And it's stuff like that. It's just like so annoying. You have like no idea. Because no one is entitled to know about your life and your reasons of whatever you do. No one. Nat had never pushed you to settle in New York for good, but you've been considering it. At first, you stay in New York because Nat was here. But as time passed, you've come to think of New York as home too. A part of you still wants to stay in this city, even though there are pieces of Nat everywhere in New York City. Yeah. That's also the reason you kind of like feel that thing of like, do I want to come back? Do I just want to stay in Singapore? Like then you start like feeling like that because there are like these pieces of nostalgia of things that you pass with the other person too. Restaurants and bodegas and parks and street corner markets that remind you of him, but perhaps you could reclaim each piece of the city if you had to. I've built a life here too. Nat stares at you for a long time, curiosity mixed in with the pain. It will be nice to still have you in the same city. The traffic light turns green again finally, and Nat starts the car up again. It's very hard though, because you might see him once again, and he might be with another person when you see him after imagine some years, and it still might hurt, and there's that too. Nat slides into a spot at the airport drop-off area. See you when you get back? You can't help but think about all the times Nat had driven you to the airport, kissed you goodbye, and told you how much he'll missed you while you were gone. How many things had you done together without knowing it would be the last time? A crooked smile tugs at the corners of Nat's lips. Yeah, enjoy your week home. One very long flight later, yes, I know how it is. And actually from New York to Singapore, it might actually be kind of like the same amount of hours. I took 16 hours. 16 hours, yes, of a flight. And it was horrible because I hate to fly. I know some people really like it. I am one of those that every time I have to do it, I am like, oh my God, I don't want to. Even if it's just 1 hour, I'm like, I don't want to. Because I have really bad memories of stuff that happened during flights, especially with my ears. Like, I know you can put some plugs and stuff like that. It's just, I suffered so much because of altitude. I suffered so much, even with things in my ears. It's like, it's very hard for me. There was one time I was screaming, and they even had to call the medic, because I was screaming inside the airplane. It was really hurting. It's just every time I need to fly, it's just I get really anxious because of that. It's just horrible. And people are going to say you should just like put something in your ears or chew a gum or I'm like, yeah, but when you have like sensibility, I don't know how to put it in another way. It's not even that goes there. Not even, yeah. So 24th December, you wheel your luggage into the lift of your public housing block. The doors are about to clank shut when someone dashes towards you at full speed. Oh, this is the one that has okay, so yeah, this is one of the choices where you have the time limit kind of thing. And the thing is, I think they did this on purpose, which is you do not see your cursor. Do you understand? Like suddenly your cursor just disappears. Then you start trying to use your arrows and it doesn't do nothing either. So it's like, what do I do? And you don't even know where you're clicking. Do you understand? Because you don't know where your cursor is. You cannot move it. You're just like, I'm just going to click somewhere and I have no idea where. So the person continues to rush forward. I don't know where I click it. I have absolutely no idea. The lift doors clanked shut around the boot. A second later, the doors jerk back open and the person strolls in, grinning at you. Sorry, didn't want to have to wait for the next one. The lifts are so damn slow. Yeah, that one is always like, because you cannot do nothing. Imagine that you left your cursor in here and you cannot do nothing. Like, you need to click on this one. Do you understand? Like, because your cursor just simply disappears. You cannot move it by, like, imagine, like, I'm doing it with the arrows, okay? And you can't do it. But on that one, you cannot do nothing. It's like you need to click wherever your cursor is. Okay? Like, yeah. Which you don't know where the cursor is. Let me tell you, you don't know. So smile ruefully. Sorry, I should have been more helpful. Sorry, I should been more helpful, right? Okay. Raise an eyebrow. So eager to get in the same lift as me. Shrug and jerk a chin at the buttons. Floor. So, are you so eager to get in the same lift as me? The man lets out a low musical laugh at this, then moves in closer to you, dark eyes dancing with amusement. Well, I'm glad I did. He reaches out to press the button for the 11th floor, the one you live on. You put 2 and 2 together. This must be Shay, your neighbor's new tenant, the one your mother complains about in every phone call. The company he brings home, the late-night jamming sessions with his bandmates, the muddy mountain bike tracks he leaves in the corridor. Oh my God, I'm kind of like seeing the type of personality in here. You study the man in greater detail as the lift starts throttling upward. He's wearing ripped black jeans and a sleeveless red tee, which shows off strong shoulders, defined muscles, and tan, sun-kissed skin. There's a guitar case slung over his shoulder. When you return your gaze to the man's eyes, you realize you've been caught staring. He winks at you. Like what you see? He's going to be a troublemaker. His voice is low and playfully flirtatious, and you can definitely see why your mother disapproves. So laugh, sorry, it's just, I've heard a lot about you. Shay, right? We are neighbors, I say matter-of-factly. Blink, brain short-circuit slightly, huh? Do you happen to flirt with everyone you meet? And do you happen to do it? I mean, it was our fault because we were the ones that started it. Only when they are as cute as you are. You laugh and Shay's dimples flash. It's nice to finally meet you. Your mother talks about you all the time. The one that got away. They kind of do tend to do that. She watches way too many K-dramas. I'm not even sure she realizes it's supposed to refer to failed romances. Your conversation is interrupted by a loud ding as the lift arrives on your floor. You step out of the lift into the corridor after Shay. You spend countless afternoons kicking a ball back and forth along this very corridor with your brother. You catalog the changes since the last time you've been back home for Lunar New Year. It's been more than 8 months since then, much to your mother's disapproval. Since last time we've been... Okay, so we went to the Lunar New Year's. We came back home during that time, which is normal. I'm kind of supposing, so we are Asian, right? Okay, so there's a lot of like cultural implications in here now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, and the parents thing, yeah, because they have like this thing called filial piety in there, which is very important for them. It's been more than 8 months since then, much to your mother's disapproval. Okay. For one, there's a new row of thriving plants extending from your family's unit to the one next door. Shay smiles at you and gestures down the corridor. Wanna be introduced to the fam? You blink. A split second later, you realize that he's referring to his plants. Does he like plants? Sure, why not? Shay introduces each plant to you in loving detail. The finicky orchid, the indestructible ZZ plant, and the drama queen fiddle leaf fig. Finally, Shay waves at your family's sad bougainvillea that has been neglected for years. Well, bougainvilleas can actually... how would you say, like, they can really increase in size. Like, they can go so high that they could go around your house and all of it, yeah. Hey, maybe you could give this poor soul some TLC while you're here. I'm only here for a week. Oh. Shay's face falls slightly, but he quickly recovers. We'll make it count. See you around, neighbor. You continue on your way down the corridor to your unit. I'm home. Your mother rushes out of the kitchen to smack you in the arm. What the heck? Mom? Ow, what? Why? You should have come back a week earlier or stayed a week longer. 1 week, pathetic. Not even enough time to binge watch a K-drama. A second later, she pulls you into a brief hug. She's never been a particularly physically affectionate person, but she does hug you each time you come back home to visit. You return the embrace. In your arms, she feels smaller, thinner than you remember. Your dad comes running out from his room at the commotion. He, on the other hand, has grown a belly. There you are. Should have let us pick you up from the airport. No need to waste money on taxi. He waves a hand at the containers on the table, beaming proudly. Dabao. Okay. I dabaoed it from your favorite stall at Red Hill Market. Just like, I don't know if you saw, it's like a takeaway. Okay. Your mother frowns accusatorily at you, taking in your ravenous expression. Sometimes I think you come back for the food more than for us. Your dad shrugs. I'm happy as long as something works as bait. Where's Dee? Yeah, Dee's younger brother. Yeah, it's how they say it. He's out hanging out with a friend again on Christmas Eve. She makes apostrophe marks with her fingers at the word friend and shares a meaningful glance with your father. You take this with a pinch of salt. Your mother has a habit of simply assuming things that she'll like to believe. And yet she had done the opposite with Nat, continuing to refer to him as a flatmate months after you told them about your relationship. So, like the warning, slight racial prejudice and homophobia. You suppose it was just easier than confronting the fact that you were dating a black American instead of a Chinese Singaporean. Yeah, I mean, especially for a Singaporean, it would probably kind of like result in this way. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, probably. I would not, I'm not going to say that in this matter they are worse than, or they are equal or worse than the Chinese, because the Chinese are, I would say, I'm sorry, people, it's a cultural thing, I know. Chinese tend to be very racist about these things, like especially when it comes to family. Yeah, they do not accept, honestly, they do not. In Singapore, I do not know, but I do not believe that it's as rigorous, strict, as you'll probably find it in China. Yeah. So how to put it? It's more like, because you have an idea of the identity and culture, like especially in Asian countries, you kind of know that they have like this kind of racist kind of thing. Yeah. But it's not, and I'll tell you, it's not, absolutely not with just the black American, or, even with white people, they also do that. Before you can sink further into these thoughts, the front door swings open violently. Like, even if you're white and you came from, that's what I want to say, even if you're white and you came from, for instance, from Europe or something, yeah, they are not going to like it either. Yeah. They have a real thing about filial piety and family, and they have like these, I don't know how to say it, these ideas. Yeah. Your younger brother tosses his socks and bag by the gate, sorry, and sashays into the house. Hello, something smells amazing. Can I have some? Your mother rolls her eyes and mutters something about bottomless stomachs, but waves everyone over to the dining room. Elbow my brother, smirking. Mum thinks you were on a date. Nod at him slightly awkwardly high. Smile at him. Sup? We used to be close, but we've grown apart since I left. More like this. Your mum glares at you, betrayed, but your brother only laughs. Your mother's eyes light up with hope. So it's true. I can neither confirm nor deny. Your brother plunks down in the seat next to you. Every time I see you, you look even older than I remember. Well, years pass by, That's exactly how aging works, genius. Sucks to be you. Yeah, because you do not age, right? At least I'm not the one getting dumber every year. The two of you grin at each other. You had never admitted out loud, but it's good to see him. I think I have this type of like brotherhood with my brother too. It's like, we are not the hugging type, but we are really cool with each other. So even when I came back home, it was, it's like that thing of like, we are cool with each other. We don't need to hug nor nothing. We are just like really cool. I don't know how to put it, For the first couple of minutes, there's only the sound of utensils scraping as all four of you practically inhale the food. It's truly the best thing you've tasted in weeks, maybe months. After the feeding frenzy has died down, conversation resumes. So, how have you been? So, tell my family about my life in New York, answer vaguely, and remain mostly silent. I mean, I think they are parents, okay? I think it's cool that you are going to talk about it, okay? The thing is, sometimes family, and this has to do also with generations. And like usually like the generation from your parents, they do not understand that you are talking to them. They do not need to talk about it with the whole freaking neighborhood about it, okay? So it's like, I'm telling you about what I passed, what I done, or whatever. To you, you don't need to go and gossip with the neighborhood about it, okay? Please do not do that. Parents that are watching me, do not do that. So hateful, honestly. Okay, tell my family about my life in New York. You tell them about your job, a new hole in the wall Chinese restaurant you discovered, and the last dating disaster that has befallen Kenny, the son of a family friend. It's almost as though you never left. Once you've warmed up a little, you start talking more about yourself and how you've been. You talk about the record deal that you've gotten, how they're given the green light on your draft album, which is still on track for release in spring next year. Your parents had never been too keen on you making music for a living. So we make music for a living. I did not know about that. Okay. But at this, your mother slips you a small smile. Oh, also, you are going to see me. Yeah, that's another thing. I actually never told you about this. You are going to see me. When I was in the US, people were always talking about that. You are going to see me talking a lot in the past. I'm using verbs in the past when you usually use them in the present. Why am I doing this? Because in my native language, everything that we did is already past. So you have like this thing of, like, imagine that I am reading a book, right? I'm reading, and I'm putting the book aside and I'm not reading anymore. For me, this is past now. I read the book. Okay, it's like it's done. But you have things that you are like not doing anymore, like waking up in the morning and you still talking about it like you are still, I don't know how to put it. It's like you are still in that present action. For us, we are not. So it's going to happen a lot. I'm going to talk in the past when you probably are like, oh, you should have talked used the present tense in there. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah, it's going to happen a lot. Do not mind me. It's because in my native language is like that, and then I associate when I'm processing. I associate to my own language. It will happen quite a lot. I know. And when I was in America, I was always being pointed out by that. Yeah. Your father has been karaokeing to your YouTube channel. It's good, very catchy. Your brother smirks. He sings so loud the neighbors know it now. Eventually, the conversation turns to Nat, and even though you had intended to tell them about the breakup, you can't bring yourself to win in the end. Soon, the food has been polished off. After lunch, you are in the kitchen with your mother helping to clear up. When you were younger, you resented the fact that your mother never really expected your brother and father to help with most of the cooking or cleaning. Okay, I see the situation. But it's for that reason that the kitchen had been one of the few quiet, intimate places that you shared with your mother, a sanctum of sorts. Yeah. We kind of have that in here too. Like, I actually noticed that in the US, um, guys tend to kind of actually help more in the kitchen or doing the chores and all of it. And even like, well, in there and even in here where I am, it's still kind of not very much like that. It's still like the woman is the one that does the the chores inside home. Yeah, we kind of still have that. And I'm going to tell you this, which is like, it's you are probably thinking about it in the way that, oh, that's so bad. The guys should do it too. Okay. So why do we keep this situation? And probably it's kind of like the same for them. It's not that we don't like it. It's not that sometimes we don't ask for help. It has to do with the thing that we kind of feel it in here, which is like we want to continue being the person that they rely on when it comes to making the food and cleaning the house. I don't know how to put it in another way. It's a thing that it goes beyond of me trying to probably explain you. It's just, I don't know if it's, I wouldn't say like cultural, because you see, like, for instance, in Asia they have that too. It's just yeah, it's not good. It's not good. But it's like, you have a place where, as a woman, you kind of know you have a place where it's your place and where you belong. And I don't know how to put it in another way. It's like, imagine this. It's like a guy knowing that he's needed at home when it comes to take care of the computer, the electricity, to try to tinker with things. Do you understand? A woman also feels, at least in here, a woman also feels like the guy is like the handyman of the house. You feel like you are that person that is in there to, kind of like do the chores inside the house. I don't know how to put it in another way. But it's not that we are going to say, oh, no, don't touch the dishes nor nothing, it's all to me. No, I mean, we are fine if they want to help. We can even like ask them, do you have time? Can you like help me in here? And they usually even say yes. Although when it comes to cooking, they usually do not know how to do it. So they're like, yeah. But we do not make a revolution about it because we feel like it's like our place inside the home. I don't know how to put it in another way. Although you might look at me and think like, oh, that Irina, how? That's so old-fashioned. But it's like, I don't know how to put it. It's something that we kind of feel inside. And you have it quite a lot in here, at least in here where I am. And you will feel it. Like if you're, for instance, if you're from Greece, if you're from Italy, you will have Spain, you will have people telling you exactly the same, which is like, yeah, we still kind of like to have that situation of being the one that do the chores at home. Yeah. As we expect, though, for the guy to be kind of like the handyman, and he's going to take care of the things when we need them for more man-orientated kind of things. Do you understand? Like, it's yeah. But when I was in America, it was very different. It's kind of like the thing I told you about the guys carrying the bags for us, and we are like, no. Yeah, I also noticed that guys tend to help with the chores inside the house. And I mean, it's cool. It's really cool. It's just, I don't know how to put it, but we start feeling, we from here, we start feeling, and not all of the countries, okay? I'm probably talking more about the South countries that you have in Europe. We start feeling like We had a place where we belonged in there, in the house, and it's like it's been taken away from us. To put it in another way, you're going to tell that I'm really old fashioned. It's fine, it's just, I don't know how to put it. It's something that we feel. And I'm seeing this lady in here, and she's like talking about it. And I'm like, maybe in there is it's kind of like the same thing, you know? They kind of feel it like that. She's always been most comfortable talking to you about difficult topics amidst the cooking fumes and the sound of sizzling oil. Today, standing side by side at the sink, you can help feel a bit of that old closeness. You know your father. She stops abruptly and waves her hand at you dismissively, changing tacks. Well, we are both not getting any younger. She's been saying this for years in an attempt to guilt trip you into returning home. But this time, yeah, like parents do this. Like sometimes you want to smack them. Do this quite a lot with this guilt kind of thing. But this time, her tone makes you think there might be more to it than she's letting on. I felt exactly the same when I was away. It was always like, but you need to return. What are you doing in there? And you need to stay in here. And you need to be controlled by us. And you need... God. Just as you're about to ask her what she means, she shakes her head and turns away. Your mother walks off to tie up the garbage into a plastic bag. When she returns, her expression has softened into a smile. It's good to have you back. I just wish you'll stay longer. You blink. It's classic behavior from her, something almost tender, blended up with a jab, and all to distract you from what she'd been about to say earlier. My God, like the microphone in front of the text box is like killing me. So, Fran, what were you about to say? Smile at her. I miss it, you guys too. Just not unable to say it back. I feel like she's probably feeling like she's not prepared to say whatever it is. And it might be a difficult thing. So I'm going to smile at her and just say that I miss it. I miss it. Your mother's smile wavers a little and she suddenly blurts. Help me convince your father not to eat so much oily fried food, okay? Okay, so see? She ended up opening up with us. Okay. You're not about to follow up with another question. But your mother clamps her mouth shut, a clear signal that it's all she will say on the matter. Right as you head out of the kitchen to throw out the trash, your mom adds tentatively, so how are things with you and Ned? You are not sure whether to be touched or horrified that she's finally recognizing your relationship with Nat now that it's finally over. Shake my head. I'm not letting into this. A bitter edge creeps into my tone. What do you care? You never liked Nat anyway. Bit my lip, we broke up. I don't want to talk about it yet. You shake your head, not wanting to get into this. Not now, maybe not ever. Your mother eyes you curiously, but after a second or two, she gives it up. Truth is, even though you're fairly close to your family, you've never really spoken much to your family about your love life. Your mother's gaze follows you as you head out of the kitchen to the shared rubbish chute in the corridor. Okay, the thing is, it depends on the situation. And for what is valid in here, I got the feeling that we broke up because I was the failure in there. Do I want to assume to my family that we broke up because I was the failure, the person not being capable to make the other person happy? Do I want that? Do I feel like I have the courage to say that? I don't know. Just as you're rounding the corridor to the shared rubbish chute, you bump into Shay. He's repotting one of his plants in the corridor, humming a little tune as he works. He pauses and looks up as you walk past. It's kind of funny because I would never put this guy as someone that likes plants. He seemed more like the troublemaker type of guy. But now that I know that she's a musician, some kind of musician, whatever, I don't know very well what kind of musician she is. And I noticed that this guy apparently also has like some kind of hobby or something with music. So I'm kind of like, maybe they will really get along together, right? I don't know. He brightens and gives you an enthusiastic wave, nearly flinging a couple clods of mud at you in the process. Chatwitz, maybe I should, because I'm kind of feel like to be honest, I was not into going into this guy, because I was like, oh my god, he's going to be like, I like troublemakers, but I was like, oh my god, he's just, if my family is already complaining, he might be, I always get this sense that they might be too much energetic for me. I like the troublemakers, but at the same time, when I feel like they are very energetic, I'm like, oh, better not. No, not going in there, And that's why I was like, I don't know. He's a troublemaker, but I don't know. So I was kind of like, maybe not this love interest. But the thing is, Nat, I'm also kind of refusing Nat, and I don't know nothing about the other guy. Yeah, absolutely nothing about the other guy. So we'll see it. Okay. Let's keep Shay open. I love it, Nat, though. I just have that shadow hanging over me, and I'm like, it's kind of hard with Nat because it's making me have feelings for things I don't know about my own past. So chat with Shay, probably. Yeah, let's maybe see it. You draw a little closer. Are you singing to your plants? After carefully setting the plant into its new pot, Shay straightens and smiles at you. Or to you, if you like. To your surprise, Shay actually begins to sing the chorus of the song he'll been humming, his voice oak-timbered and rough-hued. Yun. Sorry. You roll your eyes but can't help smiling. All right, save it for the fiddle leaf fig. I've been meaning to ask for your number. Click my tongue, teasing just like that. No dinner date first. This is also a very American kind of thing. Yeah, the dinner. Sure, but if you piss me off, I'll pass your number to my mom so she can rant at you. I'm not going to pick this one. I'll rather not. It's an American number anyway. I need to pick this one. Shay lets out a throaty laugh. Thought your mom was bad enough, but I see you've inherited all of her ruthlessness. That was really good. Don't get on my bad side. After you've cued in your number, Shay adds, I'm playing a Christmas gig tomorrow. Wanna come? We just met 5 minutes ago and you want me to spend Christmas with you? Shay winks at you. Yeah, there's also that, which kind of left me like, because remember that our mom said he was always bringing someone home? Yeah, I do not feel very comfortable about that. Like, is he like that type of, like, I don't know, playboy type of guy? I don't know. Great music. Drinks on me after. What better way to spend Christmas? Anyway, no pressure. I'll send you the deets and you can decide later. You nod, mulling it over as you head back into the house. You can already hear your mother in your head grumbling about bad influences who drag you out to wild late night parties instead of spending time with family on Christmas. Christmas in here is kind of sacred. You do not pass it with friends. You pass it with family. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's no other way. Junior college equivalent to high school grade. Junior college. Oh, okay. So they call it like that? Oh, okay. After dinner that night, you get a call from Junie, your best friend from junior college. You're back in Singapore, finally. I stare at a picture of you on my phone once every couple months so I don't forget what you look like. You laugh. You've been friends for years, so you know just how dramatic she can be. That's creepy. Also, I literally just video called you a month ago. Still, you've got plenty to update each other about. Eventually, the conversation loops round to the class reunion scheduled for the day after Christmas. By the way, this is a Chinese name. Qian. You say it like this. It's Qian. It looks like this, but you say Qian. By the way, Qian just confirmed that he's coming to dinner. Your heart twists. It's been nearly a decade since you last seen Qian. Feels as though you met each other a lifetime ago now. 8 years ago. So this is the guy I know absolutely nothing about, this Qian guy. Because when I picked it at the game, I saw a bit of Shay and Nat, of course. You are at a party with Junie and her boyfriend Tech. At some point between the rowdy drinking games and chit-chat, you wander out to the pool alone for a bit of a breather. You got a couple of seconds of blissful solitude before someone else slips out the back door and joins you. It's Qian. You've seen him around in school and seen his name on every single dean's list since the dawn of time. You know he's got a reputation for being aloof, but you've never really spoken until today. Needed some peace and quiet? You laugh and raise an eyebrow at him pointedly. Yeah, well, I'm not going to get it now. The conversation starts small: school, mutual friends, favorite bands, then somehow the momentum sweeps you both along with it. Qian listens more than he talks, and his attention feels all encapsulating. Time passes in a hazy blur, thick and viscous. You keep talking longer than you planned it to. Okay, so I wasn't expecting, so this guy is probably Chinese. We're going to have like the same issue with parents. Okay, do I want this guy? People occasionally came in and out of the back door, but you barely even notice. For who knows how long, nothing pierces the bubble that forms around the two of you. There's nothing wrong with it, but like you're probably, what is she whispering about? Because we are probably both Singaporean. In Singapore, you have like, and in our family is probably Chinese too. Like in Singapore, you have like a lot of families that have that come from the Chinese. And what I'm talking about in here is that, yeah, when it comes to families, sometimes with them it's kind of difficult. Okay, families, and I mean families and between families and all of it. Sometimes it's like, So let's see how it works. Eventually, though, the party begins to empty out, and a few remaining people come streaming out of the house. There is nothing wrong, and they are used to. What I'm saying is, for us audience that is more on the Western side, there are things that they have as family, okay, and between families that sometimes we kind of like take it with a grain of salt. Do you understand what I'm trying to say in here? I mean, if you already saw like Chinese drama, I would even say Chinese drama, because I think most people see more like K-drama. But I am a biggest fan like of Chinese drama. I even prefer to K-drama. But if you already saw, you kind of have like an idea and you might be prepared for certain things. If you never saw it and you have like no idea how they kind of act with this filial piety and all of it, you might actually feel like a bit conflicted about it, okay? That's just me giving you kind of like a warning about it. Suddenly, there's a loud whoop, and the host dives headlong into the pool with a massive splash. A second later, everyone hoots and plunges in after him one by one. Cackling and cheering erupts around you. Alright, it seems the madness is starting. I'm heading home. You? I'll laugh and jump into the pool as well, dragging Xion along with me. But he's the aloof type of guy. He is the aloof type of guy. Rolling my tongue in here constantly. So not, yeah, let's get out of here. I am more the introvert type, like him, so I don't know, probably. I would do it anyway. I would actually do it. It's just that, yeah, it really would depend the type of party. Like, are we talking about people that I really know and I'm okay with doing things like that? I don't think it's the situation here. So yeah, let's just go. The two of you say your goodbyes to the rest and walk out of the house together. You linger at the front gate. There are no stairs, not that you can see anyway, but the sparkle in Chion's eyes is close enough. It seems neither of you want to say goodbye just yet. The motion is so quick, you're not sure if you'll imagine it, but you can't just about swear you see Chion's eyes deep down to your lips. Another thing that they have is like they are really shy. Yeah. So there was like a Singaporean guy that I used to talk to. They are so shy. He was so gorgeous. He was really gorgeous. But they are really shy. They are not like us. They have like these, yeah, as I said, like this Asian kind of thing. They are very shy. Murmur, you gonna kiss me or what? Press him up against the house side wall and kiss him. Take a deep breath and let the moment pass. He's not going to kiss me. I'm going to be the one. He's not. I don't know how to put it, but most of them, they have, I don't know how, they are kind of like shy. They need to have certainty that you are into them. Otherwise, they are not going in there. They are not. One thing led to another tonight, but you certainly hadn't expected it to lead to this. The kiss is bruising. Chion's hands come up to grip your hips, and the world swirls all around you. Yeah. When they are certain, they are okay. But if they are not certain, they are just going to be there, kind of like not giving you like the idea and just leaving it in there. This is a reality. I'm not joking with you. It is. That's why I was like, we need to be the ones taking the first step in here. When he finally pulls away, he's breathing hard. Eyes still dark with desire. Another thing that they have is that they do not talk much about themselves. They are even more introverted about that. Like it's, so how are you getting home? Wanna walk together? You smile, glad that Chion had found a way to make the night last just a little longer. Weeks pass. After that, the two of you go back to your separate, parallel lives. Occasionally, you'll bump into each other in the hallways between classes, but that kiss slowly fades into memory. That is until the final year of junior college. As fate would have it, Cheon transfers into your class and gets assigned a seat next to you. There's an inescapable intimacy to sitting shoulder to shoulder for hours every day, watching Cheon take notes in his absurdly neat handwriting. As the days go by, the two of you begin spending more and more time with each other after class. Do I want to go after Cheon? Like, it would make more sense, even for our family. He's going to be like the very reserved, strict guy. I bet. Do I want this? Well, it's just a demo. It doesn't matter. I'm going to keep my feelings. You hadn't realized what it was at first, but the unfamiliar, thrumming tension between you continues to build until you can no longer deny your feelings. Even after that, you keep your feelings tightly bottled up. Cheon, on his part, remains as inscrutable as ever. But there are moments in class when you catch his gaze on you. You start thinking, hoping that maybe he too has feelings he isn't letting on. Like they have so much of this. You have like no idea. Like for instance, that friend that I was telling you about is like, you know, when you're just asking things like we here in the Western, we are kind of more like, so how was your day and stuff like that, and we talk about it like, and they are just so like vague about every little thing. Like they never want to get things out of that shell. Help me God, honestly. Yeah. One afternoon, after cheering your school team at the football match, you are on your way home when you realize you've left your wallet behind. Cursing, you turn back. The storm hits. By the time you locate your wallet face down in a puddle of at the edge of the field, you are soaked through. As you bend to pick the wallet up, a shadow comes over you. I want to smack them when they act like this, because it's like they are interested but they never actually tell you. It's like this has a name. I know the name of it. It's like it's not coming. Yeah, whatever. You know, when you are like in a situation of a relationship when it's like not one nor the other wants to give in. It's kind of like that. It's Cheon trying valiantly to hold an umbrella over the two of you. The rain's coming at you in great horizontal sheets, and the wind is yanking the umbrella around despite Cheon's best efforts to keep it upright. Thanks, but I'm not sure the umbrella is doing much at this point. Yeah, he's all wet too. He's soaking wet. Didn't realize you were such a defeatist. By the time you reach the shelter of the bus stop, you are both soaked to the bone and breathing hard from sprint. You know that, yeah, this is going to be one of those types of relationships that it's just going to be hard all the time. Yeah, I know where it's coming from here. I just recognize it. Yeah. Cheon looks down at his drenched clothes, pushes a wet strand of hair out of his face. The bus stop is deserted. The buses must have just gone by, which means there's a long wait ahead. The rain's loud enough that there's no pressure to talk, but Cheon holds your gaze instead of taking out his phone. As you study Cheon, you notice that his lips have gone slightly pale and he's shivering slightly. Jesus, you look like you're on the verge of death. I might be. Lean in, I could huddle close for warmth. green hypothermia in a tropical country. Tomorrow's breaking news. Bite my lip guiltily. Oh dear, are you okay? Cannot. I have to. That's it? Oh dear. Cheon steps closer. Suddenly his face is only inches from yours. His lips curl up into a loop-sided grin. If this were a movie, you'll be offering me your jacket right about now. My eyes sparkle. How about a kiss instead? Cheon's definitely flirting. My heart flutters. Yeah, you know this, right? Until here. They have... This is a very Asian kind of thing. And when you... Especially when you deal with people from there, you feel this, okay? As a Westerner, I'm not talking... If you're seeing this and you're an Asian person, for you, this is totally normal. For us, it's kind of like you're always in that how do you say, in passive kind of situation of like, it's always like this. You have like no idea. It's always like this because they don't give much and you don't want to give much because you're not certain either. And then you're always in this situation. It's crazy, but they are used to, okay, for them this is normal. This is totally normal. For us, that we are more open, to touching and saying things and say how we feel, and for us it's like, why are you acting like this? Like, just liberate yourself, okay. So my eyes sparkle. How about a kiss instead? Definitely flirting. My heart flutters. Sorry, this isn't a movie. I'm going to tease. When your lips meet and your hands go up to grip Cheon's hips, an involuntary tremor runs through him. You are almost certain it's not from the cold. A second later, a wave of water splashes into the bus stop, hitting the back of your legs. You step back, only to catch a bus throttle away and disappear round the corner. Oh shit, there goes my bus. A moment later, your bus pulls up. You give Cheon a jaunty wave. Cheon splutters. What? You're just going to abandon me here after... Cheon flounders and doesn't finish the sentence. You climb aboard, surprising a grin. Although you won't admit it to Cheon, your heart's still doing loop-de-loops in your chest. See you tomorrow. We are just acting like a jerk. Honestly, so good. From that day on, there's no turning back. You fall fast and hard for each other. You see each other every day and spend hours talking on the phone in the middle of the night. Messages exchanged in the margins of literature books, a dozen different ways to type "I love you" on a graphing calculator. But in hindsight, the sweetness of sinking gently into that relationship will always be tainted by the memory of how things had soured between you. Back to the present. Junie clears her throat, reminding you that she's still on the phone. So, you're coming to the class reunion, right? Yes, I'm over Cheon. The thought of seeing Cheon again makes my heart twist in complex ways. I don't really want to see Cheon, but also I don't know. Like, I kind of want to, but I know it's going to be like, how do you say it? There's a name for it, and it's not coming into my mind. You have a name for this, and I know it. It's no, it's not. It's nothing of this. balancing act. I don't think it's this. I think it's something else. You have a name for this, but I don't know. I don't know how to put it. Yeah, you have a name for what I'm thinking, which is something that we really use in here when it's to define what I'm talking about, of like you both kind of like being in this situation. But I cannot find it. But I know you have an expression for it. So do I want to keep that kind of relationship? I don't know. Let's see it. It's been years before you stopped itching to look him up on social media to see what he was doing. Now the curiosity resurfaces. Maybe you wouldn't be feeling like this if you've still been happily in a relationship with Nat. Yeah, I'm very sad about Nat. Nat was very cool and he was gorgeous. Probably like the most gorgeous of all of them. But Nat gives me feelings about stuff. Okay, I cannot put it in another way. But now, single again, you can't help but let yourself wonder what it would be like to see Cheon after all these years. By now, Cheon had been taken. And we would not even have a situation with him. Probably. Would he be dangerously similar to the person you've fallen in love with as a teenager? Yay! Junie's exclamation nearly blows out your eardrums. Fortunately, you had the foresight to hold your phone an inch away from your ear. Having extracted your promise to attend the reunion, Junie hangs up a little while later. You fall asleep that night with your mind still swirling with memories of a life you thought you left behind. 25th December. The rest of Christmas unfolds the way it usually does. Hectic, noisy, your extended family asking you too many questions you don't have answers for. Halfway through dinner, you get a message from Nat, accompanied by a selfie with the dogs and Nat's parents out on a morning stroll. You know, now I'm thinking about something which is like, we do not have a name, right? They were able to do this whole visual novel without us having a name. Yeah, kind of weird, right? Merry Christmas! Hope you're eating all the chili crab on my behalf. He's so cute. I am so sorry for not being with Nat though. But he gives me feelings of things. If you want to call for a bit later tonight, let me know. The heart symbol in the message makes your heart throb, and you try to tell yourself it had probably been an accident. Frequently used emojis and fat thumbs. There's also a message from Shay with the address of the show he's doing tonight as promised. Yo, heard from your mom that you're a musician too. If you come tonight, you could totally guest star. He's exactly the same through text as he is in real life. Flirty, irreverent, teasing. Yeah, but he's a womanizer probably. I am concerned about that part. I'm very into doing Shay, but I think he's kind of like a womanizer. I'm not going to like that. I like that he likes plants. I like a lot that he likes plants. And I like a lot that he's the flirty type. But I think he's a womanizer. And I'm like, God, no. You text back and forth for a bit before your mother glares at you. Reluctantly, you put your phone away until after dinner. Once dinner winds down, you head out of the restaurant with your family. Nat and Shay messages await your reply. Well, this is just a demo. It doesn't matter. Irina, just pick whichever one. Oh, God, he's going to be a womanizer. Oh, my God. You text Shay to tell him that you'll be there and make your way to the address he'll send. At the live music venue. You soon arrive at the Fat Dog Brewery, the roadside burger place and live music venue where Shay and his band are performing. There's an open-air patio with high tables and fairy lights strung up along the sides. You spot Shay just as he's about to follow his bandmates up on stage. Hey, you made it! Shay flashes you a wide smile when he sees you. He's genuinely delighted, as though he hadn't been sure you'd actually come. He's about to say more when his bandmate yells impatiently from the stage. Oi, flirt later, gotta get this show started. Catch you in a bit, enjoy the performance. Shay hops up the stairs to join his bandmates. The space facing the stage is already packed with people. With some creative maneuvering, you manage to weave your way towards the front. The first song starts with a snazzy drum beat that explodes into a fast, rollicking melody. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. What kind of lyrics are these? Oh my God. Okay. Still laughing about like, the lyrics are absolutely ridiculous, and honestly, you expected nothing less from Shay. By the time the chorus comes around, most of the crowd is snorting with laughter and clapping or singing along. After this silly upbeat opener, the band eases into a couple of original songs. Your gaze zeroes in on Shay as he effortlessly works his magic. You hadn't been sure what to expect when Shay had first asked you to come, but you're completely swept up by the music. Close to the end of the hour-long set, Shay's gaze picks you out among the crowd. I'd like to ask if a special guest would like to close out the night with us. Yeah. This is the problem for an introvert like me. I'll be like, oh my God, no. No. A ripple of surprised oohs and these. Heads swivel in all directions, curious. Shay shoots you a warm, playful smile, waiting for your answer. Yeah, I'm just here to watch. I cannot, no. You shake your head to Shay. You're back in Singapore for a holiday, not to guest perform a Christmas gig. Yeah, he's going to be too much energetic for me. This is what I was telling you about. No, I need to scratch him. No, yeah, it's going to be too much for me. Shay nods, then leans into the microphone, gaze still locked on you. This song is about meeting someone completely new, but feeling as though you've known them in a different life. Sweetie, we just met. Honestly, no, that's not happening. Like, I'm honestly not the type of, like, you know, when the guys come to you and like, oh, like, have I met you before? And you know, I'm feeling this deja vu. And I'm like, oh my God, no. Don't come with that. After the first verse, you place the melody. It's the song Shay had been humming to his plans when you bumped into him in the corridor. The song is slow with pared down instruments, so Shay's voice really shines through. The string lights illuminate Shay's face as he sings. Long, syrupy notes stretch and shimmer in the night air. The microphone catches the breath Shay takes before the last verse. There's a raw undercurrent of vulnerability in Shay's voice that feels so intimate that you find yourself holding your breath, unable to look away. I'm going to scratch. No, I'm already seeing that. I like the teasing guys, but yeah. Along with the rest of the crowd, you stare transfixed as Shay delivers the final verse. The low oak timber notes seem to stretch into infinity, vibrating in the warmth of fluttering breeze. When Shay holds the high notes at the very end, raw and exultant and revelatory all at once, the crowd erupts. Shay and his bandmates stand side by side, grinning as they soak in the applause. Thank you, we are the 1 a.m. Lip Up Band. What? Merry Christmas, everybody. What a name. After the performance. Okay, just need 1 second.